Hi, this is Courtney from Eating Disorder Hope, and welcome to our vlog series. Today I just want to talk a little bit about intuitive eating and a recent article that came out in the New York Post actually slamming it. So intuitive eating is essentially listening to your natural hunger and fullness cues and honoring them. So eating when you're hungry, stopping when you're full. If you're having a craving for a piece of chocolate, letting yourself eat that piece of chocolate as opposed to depriving yourself and then possibly binging later on chocolate or just having obsessive thoughts about it. Because having that kind of relationship with food really sets you up for disordered behaviors. So that's a very basic outline of intuitive eating, but the article that came out in the New York Post was actually called "Intuitive Eating is for People Who Have Given Up." And it presented a very oversimplified view of what intuitive eating is and kind of sent a dangerous message that I just thought we should address as part of the eating disorder community. So the article talked about how intuitive eating is basically a free-for-all for anyone who doesn't want to have to deal with diet and has kind of given up on having the body that they want. And they talk about it in a way that makes it sound really easy and fun. And the reality is that intuitive eating is very difficult for anyone to kind of, it can take a long time to relearn your natural hunger and fullness cues and learn to trust your body, whether you've struggled with an eating disorder in the past or not. So I think that he kind of presents a very different view where it's kind of something fun and easy that, it really is something to be admired when someone can genuinely engage in intuitive eating and listen to their body and have that kind of self-awareness and self-acceptance. So he also talks about how there's no self-discipline or self-control involved in intuitive eating. And I would argue that food choices and eating, that's not really the arena to practice extreme self-discipline and extreme control because, those components and, spending a lot of time and energy on food choices each day, anyone who struggled with an eating disorder in the past would know that's disordered. And so I think, food shouldn't be that way. It should be more natural, more primal, listening to your needs and addressing them. And that's intuitive eating. So I just think that this is something that we needed to address, and he gives a very, very general view of intuitive eating from a very different perspective because he's coming from the fitness world and he's a personal trainer, but he does ignore some of the basic principles of intuitive eating. Like the 10th principle is honor your health, and it talks about food groups and the importance of a balanced diet, and I think that was conveniently skipped over in the article when it talked about eating a burger with glazed donuts as the buns because that's what you intuitively want, and it kind of presented it in a way that was obviously intended to be comedic, but it was actually kind of offensive to the eating disorder community because we definitely promote intuitive eating, and even though we are coming from a very different point of view, I wish that they were more aligned, the views of the eating disorder community and that of the fitness world, because I think that would further our message and possibly reduce the amount of eating disorders out there if, fitness gurus and health and wellness experts and nutrition, people in the field. And that's not to say some people aren't aligned with our, thoughts. But in general, I think that if these, industries took on, the body positive movement and intuitive eating and mindful exercise, then that would have quite an impact on society. So those are just my thoughts. But please let us know what you think in the comments. And you can click on the button below to subscribe to our vlog series to get more updates. So thanks so much and have a great day.